He exits with the gun raised. Officers are already set. One volley follows and Ray McCullen goes down beside the motorhome. This is Los Angeles Central Area, March 19, 2026, at about 4:37 in the morning. LAPD says Central Patrol Division officers are sent to Ceres Avenue, north of East 7th Street, for an assault with a deadly weapon suspect there now. The call is not coming from a witness across the street. The suspect himself calls 911. He says, "Because I got guns." Then he says, "I got the gun in my hand." Minutes later, Police Officer 3, Justin Castro, serial 41320, Police Officer 2, Yevgeny Shipley, serial 44171, and Police Officer 2, Dante Serra, serial 45132, are moving into a gun call before daylight. The dispatcher has a narrow description: male black, black shirt, black pants, armed with a gun. Inside a motorhome near 7th and Ceres. The 911 caller gives the location in broken pieces: 7th and Ceres. Mobile home right here. The operator asks what he is doing with the gun. He does not give a clean answer. He says, "I'm going to kill everybody coming to you." That is the radio call officers are answering. The body-worn camera places them outside the motorhome, not inside it. They approach a confined structure with limited visibility and multiple angles that can expose them. The first problem is identification. The second is containment. The third is time. LAPD's briefing says officers encounter McCullen inside the motorhome and observe him holding a handgun. That changes the call from a threat report into an armed barricade problem. Officers reposition. They do not rush the doorway. They move back, establish distance, and begin building a tactical team around the vehicle. For roughly 20 minutes, the scene stays tense but controlled. Officers communicate with McCullen. They use cover. They hold angles. They keep the motorhome as the center point and treat every opening as a possible threat path. The footage is not a foot chase. It is a slow perimeter around one man, one gun, and one doorway. The key moment comes when McCullen leaves the motorhome. LAPD says he exits armed with a handgun. The officer's decision space collapses to seconds. He is outside now. He is no longer contained by the walls of the motorhome. LAPD says he points the handgun in the officer's direction. An officer-involved shooting occurs. McCullen is struck. Officers move from force to custody and medical response. He is taken into custody and transported to a local hospital for treatment. No officers are injured. No community members are injured. LAPD later says a pellet gun is recovered at the scene and booked as evidence. The man in the motorhome is Ray McCullen. The release does not list filed charges. It also does not provide prior criminal history, and that matters. This narration does not add one. The public record in this briefing supports only what LAPD released. McCullen called 911, described himself as armed, threatened to kill people who approached, was seen by officers holding a handgun, exited the motorhome, and was shot after LAPD says he pointed it toward officers. The policy posture is also still open. Captain Mike Bland states the department is in the early stages of the investigation. He says LAPD use of force investigations typically require interviews, video review, and forensic analysis, and can take up to a year. He also says LAPD does not draw conclusions on whether officers acted consistent with policy or law until the investigation is complete. This type of call has a pattern viewers will recognize. It begins as a 911 call, but the caller is also the armed subject. That creates a built-in ambiguity. Dispatch information is coming from the person creating the risk. Officers arrive with some facts, but not enough certainty to know whether the weapon is real, where it is pointed, or whether anyone else is inside. The comparison is not about motive, it is about structure. A gun call at a fixed location gives officers time to slow down, but it also creates a line that changes everything. The moment the armed subject leaves cover and presents the weapon toward police, before that line, time can work.